The following is going to be a demonstration of how I think you should deal with telephone recruiters for trucking companies. After I get done with the demonstration, I'll explain every part about it so you understand why I recommend you doing this. Hello, this is Jack Decker.
Hi, Mr. Decker. I'm Becky from the Acme Trucking Company. We received a partial application from you. Are you still looking for a trucking position?
Why, yes, I am. But not to be rude, how would I tell you what I'm not looking for? And then if that knocks me out of consideration, it'll save us both time and energy. Would that be okay with you?
Yes.
What I'm not looking for is team driving, flatbed, heavy lifting, on-driver dash cam, and my CDL has an automatic transmission restriction. Does that knock me out of consideration for you?
No, in fact, we have many positions.
That's great to hear. Now, how about I save you just a little bit more time? How about I tell you what my best offer is? And if you can match or exceed that, we can continue on talking. Otherwise, we can save each other time and energy. Would that be okay with you?
Yes.
My best offer right now is $92,000 a year and a $15,000 signing bonus. Can you match or exceed that?
That sounds really good, but no, I can't match that.
Well, thank you for calling.
Thank you for taking my call.
And that's how you deal with telephone recruiters. Why I do it that way is that, first of all, you have to understand, when telephone recruiters call you, they're trained to be very personal. You think they want to hear everything because they're trained to be that way. They want to have a personal connection with you. They want to be very personal, very friendly. But in reality, you're just one of hundreds of truckers they're calling in this week. They're going through a script, a spiel that they do over and over again. By the time you're talking to them, the odds are it's all automated in their head. They're not even thinking about it. They're probably even thinking about what they're cooking for dinner that night. Okay. They're just trying to get you to say yes and move you along. So don't think that you are being rude. You're not. Okay. When I've used this with recruiters, I've had lots of them laugh and say, yeah, I appreciate that. They like Indian because if they're not going to land you, they want to get on to their next prospect. They want to land a sale. If they can land you, that's even greater because now they have to give you this whole spiel. And I've heard the whole spiel. If you're a trucker, oh my gosh, you've heard these spiels. Oh, we're the most innovative companies ever. Oh, our trucks are at least 2020 and 2021. All this type of stuff. But it's all a spiel for them. It's all, in fact, odds are everything they say has been scripted for them, written down for them. In fact, they're very likely they're just reading it off a computer screen. Okay, so don't think that you're being rude. In a way, they're being rude. They're calling you. Okay, and why they always say a partial application is because very likely you will have done what I did, is you go to 2 or 3 or maybe 4 trucking job websites. I could name them, but that'd be giving them free publicity. Okay, you fill out their application, and they have all these trucking companies that have signed up with them, and then they send out your application, what you filled out, to them, and that's the partial application that they're talking about. Now, is it the full application? No. If it was a full application, they would say, hey, you filled out an application with us, and we're here to talk to you about, but you didn't. You filled out an application with this website, so it's actually a partial application because they want you to fill out more your driving history, all this other stuff. The vast majority of it doesn't even matter, but they have you do it because whatever, a holdover likely from other years. But anyways, so when you start off, I always recommend you always answer the phone with your name, because that shortens up the conversation even more. Because if you say hello, what is the first thing they're going to say? Could I speak with Jack Decker? But if you say hello, this is Jack Decker, well, you've just had them not have to ask that question. So now they'll say hello, Mr. Decker, and they always very likely say Mr. Decker, or if you're a woman, Ms. Decker. I don't know what they do with women these days, but is Miss or Ms. or Mrs. So to be safe, they'll probably go Ms. but maybe they'll even use your first name. Hi, Jack. You know, if they want to be really sociable, if they want to be respectful, they say Mr. Decker or whatever. So you shorten up their script right there. You save them some time. And then you'll hear a spiel, and what are they doing? Huh? They're doing what they, I've heard this thing from them so often. Becky was the one that, my girlfriend Becky did this, and we took a little while, didn't we, Becky, to get this script down?
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did. A few runs throughs, but they've gone through it over and over and over and over again. Okay, just understand that you're not hurting their feelings. They don't care about you. They really don't. They only care about you if they think they can possibly land you. But right now, very likely they know they're not going to land you. Okay. So, anyways, so they'll first acknowledge you. Hello, Mr. Decker. They'll give their first name. I'm Becky. They'll tell what company they are from, Acme Trucking Company. Then they're going to say, we have a partial application from you because you did fill out an application with them, but with this possible trucker website, you know, this trucker recruiting website. So they can't say full application, only partial. And then they say, are you still looking for a trucking job? And very likely a lot of times they're going to be, no, I already went with someone. And I've said that once I decided to go with someone. Okay. Then but then if you say, yes, I still am, they're going to go into their second spiel. Stop them. Stop them from going to second spiel. You don't want to hear it. They don't want to tell you it. Honest to God, I've had so many of them laugh and say thank you. They're so sick of it. Okay. They're a telemarketer. Understand that these recruiters are telemarketers. Okay. And telemarketing, which I have done, is a soul destroying occupation. Okay. So if you save them from further destroying their souls, they're actually thankful for you. So, but they're going to go into their spiel, how great their company is, how innovative. Oh, we're a family. Yeah, a family you would never want to be part of, that you probably kill in the end. You know, a Charlie Mason family, you know. But they're going to go through all this spiel, which you don't give a shit about because everyone's the same. And anyone that, whatever. You want to say, you want to stop them from going to that second spiel. And if you don't, oh my gosh, their second spiels can go on for 10 minutes. And trust me, they're not telling you anything new. They're reading it from a script, and probably they've read it so often. They're rolling their eyes while they're reciting their script to you. Okay. So stop it. Okay. Oh, that hurt me. I have an injury on my elbow. So, but anyways, you stop them. And you say, listen, not to be rude, but just, how about I tell you what I'm not looking for? And that takes me out of the consideration for you. Saves us both time and energy. And that is music to their ears. Okay. That's music to their ears. Saving them time and energy so they can get on to the next prospect. Okay. Or they know that what you're doing is you're basically pre-qualifying yourself for them. So they know, oh, this is someone that might actually be interested in what I'm about to try to pitch them. Okay. So then you have to decide what you don't want to do in trucking. And I think you really need to think about this. Now, if you're a wannabe trucker, okay, I might do another video for that, because then you're looking for the right trucking school to go with. Okay. But that's another time. I'm talking to those who have already been truckers, even for just, you're out of trucker school. Okay. You have your CDL. Okay. And in that, what I'm not looking for, if you have less than a year experience, okay, I would mention that in there. Okay. I would say, just like I have an automatic transmission restriction at the very end, it says, and I have only 6 months of driving experience. Okay. Now, almost all these websites that you go, they're trying to get you to sign up with them so they can send out to all these trucking companies so that you become a prospect for them. They're going to be asking you how much trucking experience you have. Okay. So they probably have already known, you have already kind of told them that. Okay. But if you have less than a year, I would actually kind of remind them about that, but it's up to you. Anyways, so you go through it, and what won't you tolerate? Put that down. Don't listen to offers that you don't want to hear. For me, I won't ever want to be a team driver again. I did that for a major carrier for when I was just training with them for 2 major carriers, and I'm now doing it with my current major mega carrier, okay, for the training period. But there is a difference when you are team driving, when one is the trainer and one is the trainee, okay, because that trainer is trying to teach you what you should know as a trainee. And the proper ones are not trying to, the proper trucking companies are not trying to weasel cheap team driving out of you. The proper a legitimate trucking company, an honest trucking company, a good trucking company will only have you with that trainer until that trainer thinks you can do the job. And then you're done. And then he says, okay, he's ready to go. And then you're released and you're able to go with that. Okay. But there are some really horrible trucking companies that will say, oh, you have to do team with a trainer for like 3 months. Okay. Well, truth matters. You should be able to, if you're just doing OTR, maybe 6 weeks at the most, but likely 2 weeks, you'll probably learn everything you need to know that you can learn from this trainer in a significant amount of period of time within that time. Anyways, I don't want to do team driving because I don't want to kill the person I'm with. I've known best friends that have gone in and been team drivers, and after 90 days have wanted to kill each other. I've known sisters that the claws come out after 90 days, okay? You are literally living on top of each other. And I don't want to get into all the other stuff. But I'm just saying, you got to know what you don't want to do. For me, it's team driving. I don't want to do flatbed because I don't want to fall off the truck and break my arm. Well, I already have done that, but it wasn't off of a flatbed. But others have broken their feet, their hands, they've broken their skulls. I've watched flatbed truckers fall off. Anyways, I don't want to get into that, okay? But you have to figure out what you want to do. And then you tell them what you don't want to do. And that will eliminate out of consideration for them. Like for me, on driver dash cam is a deal killer. I do not want them spying on me. That's a horrible thing to do, okay? And I'll give a card up here to a video that talks about how one company was trying to have me do it and I didn't want it, okay? And why on dash driver cam is a bad idea. But anyways, you work on your head what's the deal killer for you, what you are not willing to accept in a trucking position, and then that's what you tell them, okay? Then you're going to hear likely from them that you say, does that knock me out of consideration for you? The vast majority of the recruiters are going to say no, but there have been times when I've just recently done this. I mean, I know there are YouTube channels that say, well, you shouldn't listen to someone that hasn't done this for years, but those truckers haven't ever looked for another job probably in years, and the trucking industry has changed, okay? I've just done this. I mean, literally 3 weeks ago, okay? And for weeks, a couple weeks before that, etc. So this is all fresh to me. I've dealt, what you're hearing, the script that Becky read is what you will hear from recruiters today, okay? So once they hit, so I've had trucking companies say, oh no, I had one trucking company saying all of our trucks are 10-speed stick. Oh, okay, well then I have an automatic transmission, thanks for calling. Oh, thank you for calling. And I've had other ones, for whatever reason, on driver dash cam, well, we have it on driver dash cam. Okay, I don't want you to spy on me, thank you for calling. And by the way, that if they're a good recruiting recruiter, they'll put down why they weren't able to land them. And every time you say you don't want it on driver dash cam, they'll check that and then eventually go, well, maybe we should not have that because drivers aren't willing to put up with it. Anyways, once if they knock you out of consideration, great. You just saved yourself time with them, okay? And you end the phone call right then and there, okay? But they may say no, that does knock you out of consideration, and then they're going to start up their spiel again. It's going to be almost the same spiel they tried to give you just the moments before. Okay, all of our trucks are automatic transmission. All of our trucks are 2020 and 2021 and blah, 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 blah. And they're just going off a script in their head. Do not feel you're being rude by stopping them and saying, okay, let me now tell you what my best offer is. And this is where you really save everyone time. And you tell them what their best offer, the best offer. Now, my word of advice to you is if you're just starting off doing this, your best offer is the minimum you're willing to consider to go into another trucking position. Okay, they have to match that, and that has to be better than what you have now. Okay, but you're going to get recruiters say, "Oh, I can beat that." Then write them down. And here's what I recommend you do: is saying, "Send me an email." And in the subject title, write something like "we've talked" or "we talked," so that you can separate them from all the other emails you're going to get from recruiters. And I tell you what, when I last did this, I got over 20 trucking companies contact me only by way of email. Okay. And because I told these recruiters I talked to over the phone to put that in there, and you'll spot right away, and if they have any IQ, it'll probably be the first thing in that subject title, something you can see. Then you've got, now this is their written offer. Okay. So I would talk about other parts of negotiating with trucking companies. This video is just how to weed them out. Okay, to save you time, to save them time. Although I know you don't care about saving them time, but it's going to save you time. Unless you're a lonely person, just like hearing people talk to you, you want to get these telephone conversations over as fast as possible. Do these 2 steps, okay? Not 2 steps, these, I think, what, 3 steps? 1, answer the phone with your name. Stops them from saying, "Can I talk to Mr. Jack Decker?" 2, when they start their spiel, stop their spiel and saying, not to be rude, but to save us time and energy, can I tell you what I'm not looking for and see if that knocks me out of consideration for you? Though I've never had one say no. They've always said yes. I've talked to over 100 recruiters. Every one of them has said yes. Then you tell them what you're not willing to consider. Some are going to be knocked out at that situation. Others are going to say, "Oh no, that's just fine. We're still willing to possibly consider you," or whatever they want to say. Then they'll go into their spiel. You stop them again, saying, "Don't want to be rude, but let me tell you what my best offer is so far." Now, there was a time when I was in the when I was in the searching phase, where I said, "Well, let me tell you my best 3 offers," because they really were close. And you don't have to match them exactly, but something close. So this way, you save everyone time and energy, and you can get through them really quickly, and they will appreciate it. I've had so many recruiters at the end laugh and say, "Thank you for doing that. You're a great man." And it was, you could tell there's true joy in their voice that they didn't have to go through their spiel all over again. But then there were some that were like the major carrier I had. She says, "Match that." And then she was like, when I said, "Can you beat this offer?" She says, "Oh yeah, we can beat this offer." And she gave the offer. And I narrowed it down to 4 companies, major carrier, regional carrier, private fleet, and then another regional carrier. And I went with one that turned out to be, the recruiter told me a whole bunch of lies. I ended up going with another one that called me up. Anyways, but this is how you narrow it down. This is how you get the telephone conversation to be nice and compact, unlike this video. But I'm explaining to you why you need to do this so that you can save time and energy. Okay. Thank you. And I hope you found this informational.